Hey gents, hey, eyes up here on my quarantine beard and hair. I just figured I would go a little casual today to talk about undershirts, because I'd say if there is a single style pet peeve that I have held for a very long time, it's that the undershirt under the dress shirt look is not good. It makes you look kind of sloppy, and I don't know why, guys. Why do you do it under polo shirts especially? But with dress shirts, it's not just under here. It's also the way that you'll see like a guy's wearing a t-shirt underneath the dress shirt as well. I just think it doesn't look great, and so we're gonna talk today about the best undershirts that I've been testing for the past few months, because there's a lot of them out there, and there is a big difference between just wearing a t-shirt underneath a dress shirt and wearing an undershirt with performance. It's a thinner fabric, performance material. We're going to talk about those differences today because I've been wearing all of them quite a bit, and I've been very impressed because you guys do ask a lot about this, but I never really had a need for it until I switched to natural deodorant, and then I was like, oh, this is why guys want undershirts. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the brands that are out there right now, their prices, their features, and how you can decide between which of them. This one today is by Sloane. Sloane is really interesting because they also have additional shades. So if you are a darker skin tone, or this is the lightest shade that they offer. Because like I mentioned, if you have an undershirt and it ends over here on the side, then it becomes really noticeable that you're wearing like a short sleeve undershirt, or if you're wearing the tank top style undershirt under here. But as I've been wearing the different undershirts, I'm coming to really like the features of them, especially as I've been getting nicer and nicer dress shirts, because ultimately you're wearing an undershirt to save the dress shirt. So before we dive into the brands, let's talk about the features of a great undershirt. I would say first and foremost that it is low profile. So it's a thinner fabric, which is generally performance-based. You want something with like a lyocell or spandex, something that's going to also perform well under the dress shirt, where it can either wick away moisture, keep yourself cool, but ultimately you want all of the body oils and odors and everything to go to the undershirt instead of the dress shirt, so the dress shirt can have a longer life. So you want something that's low profile. Also, look at the seams. You want something that has either like this flat style stitching of the seam so that it's not very apparent under the shirt, and you can see that here with this shirt too, is the seams are pretty low profile on the side. And also when you look at the tanny shirt, the tanny undershirt, where it is completely seamless, so it just ends and it's very low profile to the skin, that's going to be a great way to have the undershirt experience but not be noticeable with the dress shirt. So low profile, performance fabric, you want a lot of stretch in there, movement. You don't want it to restrict your movement, but I also find that when the dress shirt is really tightly fitted and it really feels nice, you ultimately feel, I feel better to have a well-fitting shirt. And whether you have a made-to-measure shirt or some other style of shirt, just to have this kind of compression almost underneath, I find to be very comfortable. Undershirts are also typically longer, so this is gonna go down underneath the shirt and sometimes wrap around your whole butt, and that's going to help keep it tucked in, because as you're moving throughout the day, you do want that performance movement, but you don't want the undershirt to become untucked, bunch up. So while they're also low profile, they tend to be longer so that you don't have that problem with the undershirt. The other thing you can look for in some of these dress shirts, and you'll see this with the Sloane shirt or the rib tee, is you'll get something with a really deep V-neck so that you can still have your undershirt. It's like having your cake and eating it too. So you can still unbutton the top or even the second button down, because if you're wearing your undershirt and then you're wearing your dress shirt with your button-up tie all the way to the top, you can get away with the crew necks, but a lot of these are going to be V-necks so that you can at least undo the top button. And if you like to have a lower, then you can look for something with a super deep V, and that's where this Sloane shirt or the rib tee will come in handy. Lastly, the color. So yes, Sloane has multiple shades for different skin tones. This is really the only company that I've found that has that. But generally, if you get a white undershirt, that's going to be great for most shirts. I find this with the Tommy John Second Skin, or I find this with the Manual Outfitters. They actually have like a really low profile seam and excellent fabric performance. And so look for those V-necks, deep Vs. And if you are wearing ties all the time, then go for the crew necks. Now, as we talk about the brands that I have been experimenting with, they are typically on the higher price point. You're gonna see around a $40 average for an undershirt. But what I find in this price point, because you can definitely buy like the Hanes multi-packs, but it's just like underwear. If you get what you pay for, and with these shirts, they wash really well. If you wash them on cold, their materials are all made to absorb the moisture and odor throughout your day, but also to wash out later. And so I find that these undershirts, while being more expensive, do outlast past the cheaper shirts, and so you are paying less in the long run. So it could hurt right now, but not only will it save your full-on dress shirts, you can do less dry cleaning on those, but also these shirts will last longer than the 10-pack of Hanes that you can find at most stores. So that is why you're seeing this big price difference, because you are getting better quality fabrics, better performance, longer lasting garments, instead of buying a bunch of undershirts and throwing them away after a few wears. So let's dive into a few of the brands that I've been experimenting with and talk about some of their features. We'll start off with the Sloane right here. I'd say one of their highlighting features is that they have multiple shades. They're also made in the USA. They come in at $34. This is the invisible undershirt. It is 95% zero micromodal and 5% spandex. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. It stays tucked in. They have the super deep V and a tapered sleeve. So this is probably going to be one of the best kind of blending in undershirts that you can go for. And while mentioning Sloane, we can also talk about Rib Tee, also made in the USA. The first one here is their Retro Fit Tri-Blend. This is gray, it's $24. It's kind of like this loose jersey. It's 50% polyester, 38 cotton, 12% rayon. They also have this amazing Tencel undershirt, which is extremely soft, very luxurious. And they have it in a crew neck, they have it in a deep V, they also have it in white, light gray, and tan. These come in at $32, and I find this to be my go-to for when I'm looking for a great undershirt. And when talking about the seams and helping this kind of fit underneath the dress shirt without being noticeable, Rib Tee has this raglan sleeve design where there's just a smooth seam on the entire shoulder, and they've moved the seams to the back and really the front of the shirt. So it really helps with being a discreet undershirt as well. And Rib Tee, which I unboxed a couple of years ago on the channel, is really what led me down this like premium undershirt road. I still have the original one from that unboxing, still one of the best undershirts in this collection. Next, for the trifecta of made in the USA undershirts, we have Manual Outfitters. And I did a video on this when their Kickstarter launched, and I've been wearing these undershirts for a while. I end up wearing these just as a regular undershirt, but a few unique things about this. So yes, they are $44, but again, they last a long time, they look great, they perform great. They do have some bundling discounts, which will help take the edge off a little bit, but this is a Portuguese milled fabric sewn in Massachusetts, which is a lyocell elastane combination, and it has a polygeny odor control built into the fibers. And they also have a really amazing seam design. You can see this on the shoulders, and they also have a gusset underneath the armpit so that it helps with flexibility. And they have a few different sizing options, unlike the other dress shirt companies where you can get, they have a medium, they also have a more medium, so it's like a half size in between those two. So if you tend to want something in between those, that's a really nice feature. But I'd say if you're just looking for an amazing, comfortable t-shirt, their navy base layer shirt is just a great t-shirt, let alone the white one being an amazing undershirt for your other clothing. And while we're hitting you with all these high prices, let's talk about Tanny. Tanny is one of my favorite underwear, and I always talk about it in reference. It is the most luxurious of the underwear brands that I really like to talk about, but it's like once you go there, it's really nice. So this is their Silk Cut undershirt, and it comes in at $55. This is Micromodal Air, which I believe they're one of the only brands that have the Air line of Micromodal because it is such a premium version of the Micromodal. It is super thin, it naturally wicks moisture from you, it's very form-fitting, and so it can really fit underneath almost any garment. This is the black one in a pretty deep V, but you can also get other colors and styles. But I do find this to be the lowest profile and also one of the best performing, also the most expensive, but you do get what you pay for. Back to the US here for the Thompson tee. And the Thompson tee I came across when I very first started my channel, and I didn't pick one up until about a year ago. So sorry about that one, but I have been wearing this one for about a year. These ones come in at $26.99, so one of the more, I would say, affordable ones in this roundup. And it is a 100% premium combed cotton. But what they really highlight is this proprietary design for stopping sweat to show through when you're underarms. So this is all about protecting those dress shirts and really getting all of the grossness of your daily grind to happen on the undershirt and not necessarily go to the exterior of your shirt. One of the unique things about Thompson's, they do have quite a few colors compared to the other ones. A lot of the other companies have like a white, like a dark, and a gray, but Thompson tee has a ton of colors in there. I still don't think that this is a shirt that you can really wear as just a t-shirt. It's very form-fitting, and you want this to be covered up by some other type of shirt. But I do find that it kept me very cool, and I was never worried about sweating too much onto my other shirts while wearing this one. So Thompson tee, great pick. Next we have Tommy John, and I actually picked up two models of their shirts. We have the Second Skin, and also their cool cotton model. And these are about $40 per shirt. You can get a 3-pack, which will help with the price a little bit. I did find these ones to perform extremely well. I actually had a mixed experience with their underwear, but I've been really impressed with the undershirts. I'd say the other shirts do have some great properties around cooling, but this one in particular seemed to be, I wouldn't say the most breathable, but you could definitely tell that it was woven in order to give you the most cooling comfort throughout the day. So if you're looking for a super soft cooling model of an undershirt and you're already a Tommy John fan, then this is a great addition to your wardrobe in order to build upon that and also to save those shirts. And the last one I ordered is wood. These ones came in at $35, and I don't think it's made of any sort of natural fiber. What they list on their website is that it is a Lenzing modal blend. They do have a bunch of colors. They have camo, charcoal, blue, navy, royal purple. But there was nothing in this one that really stood out amongst the other ones that really impressed me on there. I didn't find that it washed any better than the other ones or cooled any better. And so wood was the only one in here where I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy a bunch of these dress shirts, wear them, wash them, and see how they go. And wood was the only one that I wasn't like totally blown away by. So maybe I had to take a look at their underwear, their socks, or something else in order to see about that. But all of the other companies I would definitely recommend if you're looking for a particular style or color. What I'm trying to do with these roundups is really to highlight the companies doing cool things in this space that usually don't get a lot of attention. I spend the time to really test them out, give you my firsthand experience on those so you can really shop and maybe try and save you a little bit of time in that process. Try to live with them, wash them, wear them, and distill that down so that you can make an easier decision and continuing to be the crash test dummy of menswear. So there you have it, gents. Undershirts, the ones that I have had experience with. If there's a company that I should check out that you've been really impressed with, as always, I'll be down in the comments to answer any questions. Also at @_Kavalier on Twitter and Instagram. Hope you guys are staying safe and sane. And if you think I should buzz my hair, let me know, because I'm about to chop all of this off because I'm very sick of it right now. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you for your support as always. Until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier. I need your love. I need your love. Let me fix it right there.